Welcome, and thank you for tuning in to the American Investor Show. Please click subscribe if this is your first time listening. From trader and CEO interviews to breaking news about companies you won't hear anywhere else, nobody does a better job at keeping you in the know when it comes to penny stocks. The term penny stock generally refers to a security issued by a very small company that trades at less than $5 per share. Penny stocks are extremely risky, yet they offer rates of return on investment not seen anywhere else. The host, guest, and callers are not registered financial advisors licensed by any government entity, and therefore, the following should be considered entertainment. The host, guest, and callers disclaim all liability in the event any information, commentary, analysis, opinions, advice, and/or recommendations prove to be inaccurate, incomplete, or unreliable, or result in any investment losses. Before investing in penny stocks, you should consult a professional to determine what strategy may be best for your individual needs. Now, without further ado, your host, Lascelles Anungu.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? Shout out to the people coming into the chat room. Market pullback. You know, a lot of people thought I was running ahead of myself yesterday, but they got you in that bull trap, man. They got you in that bull trap yesterday. People were excited after hours. They caught you. See, this market is kind of like, that experiment people know about where, you put a frog in a pan and you set the water and the frog can't tell it's dying. That's exactly what is going on right now. That's exactly what's going on right now. Shout out to people in the chat room. Gucci, Stockefeller, Money Bags, Londell Carter, the Quickster, Game Face, Bad Scientist, what's up, man? Eban R, appreciate you. DPG, Cash Out Cash. We got a good caller today. David Lincoln's going to be joining us in a bit. Prophet, K-Mac, what's going on? Woody Wright, Corey Kwan, Kayak Z, Eban R, Kenny Nichols, Shirley Lewis, appreciate you. Terry Cherry, hello. Succeeder. All right. Shout out to all the people in the building. Gerardo, what's up, man? Yeah, so we're going to have David Lincoln on the air. He's going to talk to us about how to trade volatility and what exactly is volatility. Even if you're not going to be someone to trade those tickers, at least know about it. And how it plays into the marketplace. But yeah, great day. I introduced some ETFs recently. If you've been to my website, advancedequityresearch.com, I want to go over those after we go through your tickers that you traded today. But the VIX, got to double digits today, low nines, got to 10 something, mid tens. Awesome day. All right. Awesome day. And again, you don't have to short this market. You can buy an inverse ETF and profit as the stock market goes down. Now, where we're sitting just below this 100 moving average on the Qs, right? And I'm focusing on the Qs because the Qs is what really got us here. The Qs are what really got us here. So we know that those are where the fat stocks are at. That's where all the meat is on this bone. All right, whether we're talking about Facebook, which is already in a bear market, right? Facebook's already lost 20%, right? So they're already going through their situation. I had to dump my Facebook today. It was getting a little bit too far. And it was going to hit my stop anyway. All right. So even though I had September 21st calls, but the red is just building and building and building. I'm just like, okay, just fuck it, let it go. Had to let it go. But took some interesting positions in some of these inverse ETFs that I plan on being in for the next couple of days. And I'm going to show that to you guys. Some really great technology inverse ETFs that I recently put on my website, an article that I just released today on the website. And with that being said, give me a call if you've got some tickers you'd like us to address. But is Ken in the building yet? Because I want to talk about his play, FUSZ, pulled back today, 6%. All right. And Ken, if you're listening, I got some questions, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I probably would have written an article about this stock this weekend, knowing what I know about the financials. All right, knowing what I know about the financials, but there's no shares to borrow, so it's not worth me putting anything out on FUSZ. All right, but you're climbing on dangerous valuation territory right now on this play. The valuation is a little up there, considering what's on the balance sheet and how big of a business this is. Valuation is getting a little bit extensive. All right, a little bit stretched out, Ken. All right, you said $10 by April 30th. Look, if they keep the flow tight, it could do it. If they keep the flow tight, it could do it. I've seen OTC stocks do that, and do that. But, I'd love to see some updated financials. I don't know. Just keep it at 100, Ken. I got to do that. What's going on, Jeff the Marine there? All right, let's keep it going. All right, give me your tickers until we have until he calls in. Let me make sure he hasn't until David calls in. I think David will reach out to us in a few moments. We'll let him do his thing. All right. CELZ. Boy, that's another one. We talked about CELZ yesterday, and I said it had a lot more upside. This play reminds me of that AYTU that ran today. 646. Ken, what's up, man?
This is Ken. I have my friend Bud on the phone with me tonight because he's the one that's given me plenty of information on this FUSZ. I'd like for him to just give you his analysis on why we're thinking $10 by April 30th.
Excellent. Go ahead.
All right, bro. How are you, my friend?
Good. I mean, we're talking about your FUSZ. It's been an incredible call since Ken started talking about it. What did it do to get your attention? And, what do you see about the company from here on out?
All right. The attention that got me on this one is it's an interactive video technology. It's a new market for this one, okay? The CRM market consists of Pega system, NICE system, Adobe system, Microsoft, SAP. Okay, those ones right there are old ones. That old market is $40 billion. The new market will get the share of Salesforce.com. Oracle will do that one. All right. Just imagine 2,000 sales reps. I computed at 10%. Okay, conversion on that one. 40,000 companies. Conversion on that one is 50%. And then the network influencers. It's 11 of them. That's 400,000 members. That's 10% only I'm taking. Okay, and the valuation on this one, it doesn't apply on OTC stocks because we all know that OTC stocks are explosive. Okay, when it starts running, it's gonna run just like Axim.
Isn't it like the 85 to 95% profit ratio on their product? There's some huge.
Yes, and not only that. Okay, here, this is a social media CRM interactive video technology. So everything that you do, you can put it on YouTube like me. I'm going to do my calendar for my son. Mm-hmm. I will put it there on my calendar, and then he goes to my link. He clicks that one. Oh, my dad has an appointment today. I cannot call him. So he will know everything. So it's a combination of data analytics, and that they have that one. They have the performance analytics. They have data analytics. They're also in AI, and at the same time, social. The social media is changing. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter will be obsolete because it's all video technology now. If you don't have that one, it's hard to communicate. Mm-hmm. That's why a minimum of $10 before at the end of April.
Okay.
Now
let me ask you something. Is this stock currently being promoted at all by any?
No.
So this stock,
Okay,
this
here.
company
Welcome to
right now,
Infuse and our
there's
interactive video
no one
technology. To
actively
learn more,
promoting this stock anywhere on the
Yes.
internet right now.
No one's promoting it. And the reason why it's exploding, because I have a lot of friends at CRM, at Salesforce.com and Oracle NetSuite, okay? And these are marketing people that I deal with every day at my work, and they love it. That's what they said, you know?
There's also that Oracle conference coming up on April 20th.
Oh, and not only that, the Oracle conference, I will be there. And Sal, I respect you actually because you are very good, okay? You're very good. A lot of people are telling me about you, especially Ken, and I know you, man. You're good, okay? But I'm telling Sykes to short this one, and let's see, he's gonna lose his millions. That guy just got lucky. Unlike you got track record, man. You got track record, okay? He just got lucky on one stock. He made millions. That's why he's there. Without that stock, he's nothing. He doesn't know how to do his technical analysis.
Right. I appreciate the kind words, man. I really do. But let's get back to FUSZ. I mean, do they have an actual working product right now that they are providing to their customers? And are they generating revenue right now? Because the last financials that they put out, I noticed that they weren't generating any revenue for 2016, 2017. Right. Are they generating revenue now?
All right. The first quarter will be no revenue, just a little bit probably. But this is the big one. A market looks forward to the future. They don't look back at what you did last quarter. And those last quarter applies to big companies, NASDAQ, NYSE. Okay. Look at my chart on Dow Jones. Everybody was bearish at 18,000, 16,000. I told them way back in March 13, look at my chart on Twitter. Put Dow Jones, INDU, okay, and then DD Rente. Look at my chart. 3/13, 2018. My target was 27,162, 192. Guess where it went? 26,700.
Insane return, man. That's a huge return, right? I mean, that was a great call. That was a great call.
Okay, and here,
you know,
and NVIDIA.
Absolutely. So getting back to this FUSZ, though, you know, are we going to see financials submitted soon, and are we going to see possible income being generated by this company? You said not this quarter, okay, I understand, but are we going to see any kind of information that will give us the sense that they're going to be generating, revenue?
Yes, it's going to be big time, man. This is a minimum of 400,000 per quarter, minimum. That's only Oracle. All right? Mm-hmm. Minimum 400,000 per quarter. That's only Oracle, computed at 10% penetration. And I spoke with Oracle people already, around 15 of them. Okay? They are expecting to generate sales. Okay? Conversion rate will be higher. It's a new market, man.
Absolutely.
And remember, man, Facebook, you post your picture. And here, one more thing. YouTube. You have a YouTube channel, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
You on it
YouTube,
now.
you get paid. I know. You get paid per click, right? Okay. Guess what? What if you email me your YouTube? I'll open it, and you still get credited for that click that I'm going to do. No matter what platform. You put it on your email, on your text, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, you get credit for all the clicks.
That's pretty cool.
That is cool. And here, one more thing. Within 3 months, I think, my estimate, they will come out with the Aytu, okay, initial coin offering. Guess what they're going to do with that one? Digital advertising is so huge. Let's say you advertise your company, and then I go and click it. And FUSZ will pay me tokens. And I can use those tokens to buy anything from their network marketing companies that is posted there.
So this company also is a Bitcoin play. Is that what you're saying? Is also cryptocurrency stock?
Yes. And it's social media stock, okay? It's a CRM stock, okay? It's a, how do you call this one? And social media, a Twitter, a text, Man, they're all around, man.
So yeah, they're just basically the jack of all trades. Just CRM,
exactly.
IC. Right, they got the ICO popping off. They got Internet of Things. They're kind of everywhere.
Man, you have to look at this one, man. I watched his video from 2015. Okay, and then the shock video, the shareholder something whatever that he puts up every week, and you have to listen to the radio show every Wednesday
at 3:00.
Man, this guy is a killer CEO. He's very good. Yeah. And guess what? Nobody is selling shares of the company. He holds 40%.
Right, the inside or the 43%.
No, the float right here, my friend, is only 56 million. The outstanding
it's definitely moving with the tight flow. The stock pulled back a little bit today, but I did see you had quite a bit of dip buyers in the stock today to pick that off the floor there on those ones.
I was a buyer.
Okay.
I was a buyer at 160. Actually, I bought it at 164, but then it didn't execute. I bought it at 168. I bought 10,000 shares. Man, it took me 7 minutes before it's going to clear. All right, disclosure. I'm in the stock since 0.26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, up to 0.50, up to 0.65. Okay, I have close to 200,000 shares in this one.
Okay.
My average is 61 or 62 cents.
Okay, nice return right now. You're sitting on some serious profit, but you want to continue to hold for the big kaboom.
Oh, no. Here, man. I'm long in this one because I know it's going to hit. Okay, tomorrow, when it breaks 178.8, 1.788, and it runs all the way to the critical level of 1.94 and 1.98, once it's in that level and it picks up volume, it's going to break 225.
Tomorrow?
Yes. With news, it will break 275 to 325.
So we're getting news tomorrow on FUSZ. Is that what you're saying?
Most likely.
Okay.
Because he said on the conference, we're going to get news every week.
He also has the 3:00 radio show tomorrow. This evening.
Every week, man. So It might come out Thursday. I don't know. All right. Might come out tomorrow. I don't know. All right. But it really doesn't matter whether there's news or not. Okay. The more they push this one, the bottom on this one actually was 152. Should be the bottom. And I told Ken last night, you buy it at 165. So it even went down to 165 because there's a lot of people. There's a group that's selling, but it's okay because you're gonna fight the trend on this one. This one is an explosive move.
And I think $3 was the high 3 years ago on this.
Okay, here, man. All right, $3 a year and a half ago. I think I was looking at the chart a while ago. Guess what? The Fibonacci retracement on 38%, 50% is done already. Now we're climbing towards the Fibonacci retracement on the higher highs. So it's very simple. 243 and 325 will be the range very soon, but it needs to break 194 to 198 tomorrow. If it breaks that one, it's going to go 225.
Well, I mean, we're getting news tomorrow, so we're getting news tomorrow. So when we get that news, it should break that level.
Oh yeah, easy.
Let's see it happen.
Definitely. All right. Well, Ken and sir, can I get your name again?
Oh, Bud.
You said Bud?
Yes, DD Rante on Twitter.
All right. And do you have a website or anything like that?
No, just go on Twitter. Put DD as in dog, Rante, R-A-N-T-E. Right. I made a call on NVIDIA, Netflix, Palo Alto Networks, MU, what else? STM, Cara, ZYNE. Name the stack, man. I'll make a call.
There it is, man. Appreciate you. Thank you so much for calling in, Ken. And Bud,
yeah, man.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
And I want to be a friend of yours, man, because you're good. And I want your followers to follow you more because you're very good.
Appreciate you, bro. Thank you for the call, man. Yes, indeed. Shout out to Ken. Appreciate the call. Yes, indeed. I wanted you guys to just kind of get a taste of of how those kind of conversations go down. We're supposed to be getting 225 tomorrow, so we're gonna be getting news and 225 tomorrow, and I'm gonna leave it at that. And we'll see what happens on FUSZ tomorrow, and then I'll have my comments tomorrow on that. I'll have my comments tomorrow on it. So we'll see what happens. All right. Appreciate Ken and Bud for the call. Ken, if you can, put his Twitter in the chat room, Ken, if you're listening, so guys can follow him. And it's always good to get somebody who has knowledge about the OTC space. I think traders can never have enough people who have specialized knowledge about the OTCs, because it really is kind of that black hole where you really need to be careful who you're getting information from. All right, shout out to Ken. Yes, shout out to Ken. Appreciate you. Yes, indeed. What's going on, Mr. Lloyd? Juan Diaz said I'm blushing. Shut the fuck up. That's hilarious, man. Yes, indeed. I mean, I'm look, it's got a $265 million valuation right now. The company last financials showed about 28,000 in cash. But look, that was a while ago. So for me, obviously there's been a lot of developments since then, and that could have changed the company's current financial situation. And let's see them present, and let's see what happens tomorrow. That's all I'm going to say, and then I'll make my comments. 206, Mr. Lloyd, what's up, man?
What's up, man? Oh my goodness, I know it's been half a year, forever.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you, and you probably went through the same thing, but you got a little bit more experience than me, so you probably went through that phase. But right now, I'm in a transition. I'm in a trading transition, which means I'm understanding the reasoning behind what I'm doing. Basically, the maturity level is definitely developing a lot better for me, where I'm making more better calculated trades. I mean, at the beginning, man, I was being pretty reckless. You know what I'm saying? So, but I've been in the Bitcoin world for a minute, and basically, is definitely has taught me some patience. I'm getting ready to download the Robinhood. I just got my invite for my options. I don't know. Have you tried it yet?
I've tried just to test it out, and it's funny looking on a phone and the way they lay it out. But I mean, it works and it's free. You can't do really more than one leg at a time. So it's really kind of for guys who are looking to swing or take a long-term position in it. So it's not the preferred platform in terms of options, but it does the job, and it could be profitable for guys who know what they're doing.
So you're saying that we can't day trade like we do with GDX or anything like that?
You can, of course. Yeah, you can, of course. I mean, but
okay.
going through it and selecting the actual option, it does take a bit of time to learn how to, pull the thing up, slide the chain down, left, right. So it's a lot to do on a screen like that. But it gets the job done.
Yeah. And let me answer Bill's bets. Taking profits. I'm finally out of the taking profits. I'm taking smaller gains, so I can get in the habit of taking profits. But I think the biggest thing here is for me is, and I'm pretty sure we all have the same mentality, is that when we see something that's very undervalued, or we feel that it's undervalued, we feel like we have the power to change that by buying it. And the thing of it is that the market is always going to beat you, no matter what you feel is undervalued. And so I'm finally getting out of that concept that I can't change the market. I just need to go with the market instead of trying to change when I see something that hits the bottom of the floor and you get in and it still keep going. And so I need to quit trying to make my own theory of something and just going with the flow.
I hear you, Mr. Lloyd, but saying this as a friend, I think you need to get out of the Bitcoin space, the cryptocurrency space. I mean, I'm telling you right now, we're headed for a very disastrous time for the economy. The dollar's losing value. International investors don't even want our IOUs. I think crypto is not going to be that safe haven. That's even going to be even worse for traders who are holding and have that, hold on for dear life mindset. And I think you need to, save yourself any future pain by getting out of that market now and start looking, for some of these problems, safety, whether it be, utilities or commodities or some
don't get me wrong.
ETFs, man.
Yeah, no, don't get me wrong. I'm going to tell you what I think Bitcoin did for me. I think Bitcoin made it better for me I feel like now that I'm going back to equities, it seems a lot slower. And so my patience level for options and trading in general is a lot better now than it was before. I think Bitcoin, because it's such a high paced 24-hour type of scene, coming back to equities is almost like going from a Ferrari to a Beetle. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it just doesn't have that same power. And you know what I'm saying? It really doesn't. I get
that. I get that. But I mean, you're talking about comparing a what was it? A $1 trillion market to what? I mean, what is Bitcoin now? $400 million? I mean, I get what you're saying. But again, I just want to put out there that we had this conversation because I'm telling you right now, Bitcoin is going nowhere but down. Nowhere but down.
But hear me out. I'm not buying and holding. I'm only trading. And basically, what Bitcoin has done for me. Now, this is just my missing element that I felt like I was missing. It allowed me to really tweak my technical analysis because it's 24 hours. Even though I was doing futures, but futures is not moving as fast. Gold wasn't even playing as fast at night. So and futures is just as manipulated as Bitcoin to me. I mean, shit, I got into a gold trade and set a stop loss like $100 away, and the damn thing spiked up, took my money, and then went back the other way. And so, as manipulation everywhere you go, I like Bitcoin for the fact of the matter is that you can take a small amount of money and compound it a lot faster than with now, when we first started, you always say, have $100 here, $200 here. I think for myself, turning $100 into $2,900 in a couple of weeks was damn good. I mean, that's the best returns I've ever had in anything. And it's exciting, but it's just trying to find out who you are, and basically that's where I'm at right now. I mean, I'm not saying that it's the go all, and I'm not even suggesting that new people do it because it is very, very risky. And I think what I've learned before has helped me to get to where I'm at today. And so, but I don't see it as I do agree with you that I think it is going down. I'm just capitalizing on the technical analysis piece as far as making $200 to $300 a day. Mm-hmm. I can't do that with. I mean, I can probably do that with trading the Qs, but it's just something about the small amount of capital and the leverage you can use to make that money. $50 into shit, man. I mean, it's just anyway. Don't get me started. But yeah, man. So that's my cup of tea going on right now. I just wanted to holler at you about this Robinhood thing. I'm gonna download it. Probably lose all my damn money trying to trade on my phone and upset because I can't get out the trade because it's not liquid enough. You remember back in the day how Robinhood used to be? Yeah. You buy something that's skyrocketing and you couldn't get out the trade. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, man. So I do agree that Bitcoin is going to go down, but there's a lot of whales, keep pumping it up and down. So I'm capitalizing on those pumps, and I just need to get my money out quick enough before it goes down. That's
There
the
it
only.
There it is. Understood.
But anyways,
Understood.
brother. Hey, you look good, man. I'm glad we got you back. We don't see the background. I like that, man. I got kind of confused. I said, damn, you fit right into that chart.
Yeah. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, I appreciate that idea, and I went and did it, and a lot of people like it. So I think we'll be sticking with this for the time being.
Right. You just gotta get you like some gold chains and a hat, man. We'll really, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but yeah, man, I'm coming back on the show. I'm here. I'm sitting in the background. I know I've been MIA for a while, trying to get this business off the ground and trying to get this little residual income going. But yeah, man, we'll keep in touch. I ain't forgot about you, man. I love you like a brother, man. You guys stay up out there, and we'll get together, Bats.
Appreciate you, Mr. Lloyd. Thank you so much for the call, bro.
All right.
Yes, indeed. Love you, Mr. Lloyd. Appreciate you, sir. Appreciate you. That's Mr. Lloyd. Thank you for the call. And yeah, I mean, man. Look, Bitcoin is just, man, I just saw so many people who really didn't know what they were doing get burned. And Treasure, and I think I just missed you. 301, you're on the air. What's up?
Hey, how are you?
Doing good. Who am I speaking with?
This is Dr. Butterfly.
Hey, Dr. Butterfly. How's everything?
It's going good. You guys are cracking me up tonight. So the chat room is so live right now. I'm just really having a good time. I'm calling about something I just kind of ran into today, GSBC. Have you heard of it?
GSBC.
Yeah, let me make sure.
GSBC, Closed-End Funds Financials. GSBC. I've never heard of this company.
Hold on. Let me make sure I got the status right. What?
$7.64?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. GSBC. It's basically an investment group, and they invest in different IPO startups. Like they invest in right now. It's like a way you can invest in Spotify, for example. Like Spotify is under them, Lyft, and some other companies. I know they had done Snap at one time, so they invest in startup IPOs.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, that's a good look. So basically, through owning them, you get to participate, through this. Basically, they're basically a publicly traded venture capital firm. That's basically what they are.
Yeah, I know Dropbox is part of. If you go to their website, they tell you it's a part of their portfolio. I know Dropbox was one of in their portfolio. Lyft, Spotify.
Okay, yeah, I'm looking at the website now. All right, so yeah, I was right. Yeah, they're basically a venture capital firm. They get into a lot of these businesses. Many of them are pretty familiar. Chegg, I know them, and Coursera. Okay, General Assembly. Okay, yeah, Spotify, I do see that too. Yeah, I mean it's an interesting interesting thing they got going on here. That chart looks real nice from the summer. But they're selling off just like
everything
other stocks are doing. But I like the idea. I like the idea behind the company.
So is this something I should wait and just study for a while and see? Or
yeah, I would study for a while. More importantly, I would do a little bit more research in terms of, when they talk about a stake, how big is it? How much are they working with? How big is the fund that they have? I see they got quite a few positions here. I'm looking at what is this? Almost 20 companies here. So how big of a stake do they really have? If we start talking less than 1%, then we're like, also I'd like to know how exactly do they get paid? Or is it, do they get their money back once the company goes public? Many of these companies don't go public for years. I know Spotify is going next, right? I think that's the one we all know is going next. But I know some of these companies like Coursera, Chegg, and many of them, they're not necessarily companies that will eventually become publicly traded. So how does GSBC make money? How does that turn around and become shareholder value and that represent, an increasing stock price over time? So,
okay. Because I looked at their letter. Okay. If you look at their letter, they talk about how much money they got back from Snap, like their letter from 2017, and they tell you the percentage that they have in each company. Like the percentage that they have in Spotify is maybe like 7%.
Okay.
And they also gave the numbers as far as how much return they got from, I think, like Snap and stuff when I was looking through. But I'll just keep my own. I just want to know if you had heard of it before.
Yeah, I haven't heard of it, but yeah, definitely. Yes, ma'am. Continue to do the research on it, and definitely, continue to update us on GSVC. I appreciate that.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you. Appreciate the call. Right. Yeah, I mean, it's trading at 10 times earnings, right? And I don't know how much they're bringing in. I'm seeing something where they have net total assets were about 200 million. About 200 million. I'm seeing this financial result based on March 13th of 2018. All right, so interesting company. All right, interesting company. 919, what's up?
Hey, Sal.
Hey, Bats, what's going on, man?
Nothing much. It's a busy day for you today, Sal.
Yeah. I mean, but I love days like this. I love a nice bear day. I'm excited. This is where we started off the show. It was just really taking the meat off the bone of that 2016 run, and then we had we kind of caught off guard with 2017. But if we're going back into a bear market, this is where I want to be.
Yeah, definitely. So I've got 4 tickers for everyone today. The first one, let's talk about the boring ones first. The first one is IONS. That's my favorite stock in the world, biotech stock, Ionis Pharmaceuticals. IONS. So this one was strictly kind of a support resistance type play. This is one of my bread and butter stocks like Chesapeake Energy, AMD type of company. Very good for options, but pretty much today I put like 6.2K into this one. I'm just wanting for it. It typically hits the mid-40s and then it goes back to the mid-50s or 60s. So yeah, I'm looking for something modern.
Definitely not the prettiest chart in the world, Bats, but I'm guessing you're basically just playing the funnel, right? From bottom to top, back up.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah, it's not a pretty chart, but it's pretty reliable in the sense that it hits the mid-40s and bounces back up. So, I'm looking for modest gains here, 15 to 30% tops. I always miss this when it gets to the mid-40s. So I'm in at about 46.10. It might drop further to 45, but we'll just have to see what happens. There are a few clinical trials running right now. I think a couple of clinical trials might be some news coming out before the middle of the year. So we'll wait and see, and it's something where I can set it and forget it. So this theoretically, like I said, this is like my favorite stock because we're talking about a company that has more than 30 drugs in their pipeline.
Wow.
If you've listened to me in the past, this is a stock that one of my good friends out of Greensboro, North Carolina, went in on back in 2007, has been accumulating shares of this from when it was still $6-7, and he's up, close to $1 million in just this stock.
Oh wow!
So yeah, so it's always good to get into something like this. I mean, it's always dropping and then is bought back up. So anyway, that's the boring side. OTC wise, we've got HEMP. Cannabis stock. So that one is actually looking pretty good. I think it got a bump from yesterday's news where Mitch McConnell was trying to get hemp taken off the controlled substances list in Kentucky, his home state. So I think this is part of like a sympathy type of play where marijuana kind of did get a sizable bounce today. So, I'm loving the volume. I think the volume was in the mid 80 millions in terms of volumes traded today. So looking good. I've been frustrated with a few of these cannabis stocks because unlike POTN, a lot of them don't keep their gains. But I'm actually in on this one. I think I've got, can I even remember? I think I have like 57,000 shares. Anyway, but I'm in on this one and I'm up, a couple $100. So looking for a good gain. I hope it does give good gains like it did from the 1st of December until the 1st of January. That was a very good move. So hoping for something like that. But then again, I think Ken is lucky when it comes to moves like that, like FUSZ and Andy and all of those other OTCs. I'm not as lucky. I've never caught an OTC that's given me, more than 100%. But then again, I never actually wait for it to get as high as 100%. So anyway, I'm still holding that one and hoping to get more out of it tomorrow. Okay, so that's HEMP. The next one, options play, a Procter & Gamble PG. Good news came out today. Procter & Gamble has been doing badly of late. I mean, in this bear market or this transient or intermittent bear market, Procter & Gamble's been doing really badly. I think they've got earnings coming on the 17th of April. So today's news, you look at that beautiful wide range candle that you've got there today. This was as a result of John Legend's wife, Chrissy Teigen, signing up as an ambassador for Pampers for Procter & Gamble. Yeah, so that was the catalyst that caused this move today. So I'm still in on this on options. I think I might be $1 away from where I went in. Still has, just under a month to go, but we'll see how it goes. I mean, it might just be a temporary bounce, but yeah, you can see over the last 2 weeks, it's really had a rough time.
Yeah.
But always good to see something like this. So if it puts in another good day, I would strongly recommend people looking at that one for options. Last but not least, I think you saw my tweet and liked it. TCON, TCON. This is an insider play. Man, this thing was off the chain in terms of the number of insiders that bought it.
Yeah, they're really loading up, and that definitely perks my ears on something like that, man.
When you have 10 insiders buying $1.9 million dollars each worth of this stock, that is crazy. So I caught this at the end of the day on FinViz. I always go to the insiders tab and look for low RSI plays where you get insiders. So yeah, 10 insiders, each of them I think 10% holders of the stock. 10 insiders went in on this, got in at about $2.70 and each bought $1.9 million worth of this. So we're talking upwards of $20 million in total that was actually put into this.
Yeah.
So notice it's in a downtrend. I think with a lot of these kind of insider plays and even with offering type of plays, you do get a bit of a delay. Sometimes, might be a day or two before you actually see it swing around, but that's huge. So I'm looking to at least see when the reversal comes, and then I can think about getting into this.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting stock to see over the next several weeks. I mean, this is a stock that, like you said, it's been already pretty beat up, but we know how these cancer drugs can run, and I don't know what the float is, but, if they put out some good news or some kind of agreement with a large pharmaceutical play or something, it could really, go to the moon. So we'll see.
Yeah, the float's not that bad. It's 15.7 million.
Oh,
in
wow,
the
that's
float,
okay.
and
Nice.
yeah, that's definitely not too bad. Hopefully, it can move like it did back in September, but we'll just have to wait and see.
Absolutely.
And with that, that's it, Sal. Thanks for everything you do, and we're all pumped for FUSZ. Hopefully, Ken and his friends can
Yeah. I'm
can
all
push
for
this
it.
one to $10.
I'm all for it, bro. We'll see what happens, man.
Thank you so much, Sal. Have a good night.
Yes,
Take
indeed.
care.
I'm all for it. Look, man, I'm all for it. I want people to make money, man, because that guy makes money and he's going to be right back here on the show. So I'm all for it. I can't wait to get the news tomorrow, and this stock will go to $2.25. That's what he said. So that's what's going to happen. All right? Yes, indeed. Treasure Hunter called me. I saw you've been trying to call me, but every time you call me, somebody. All right, there you are. 772 Treasure Hunter. What's up?
Speaking of making money, Sal, I try to, throw a little couple of, dollars in your pocket. Sal didn't want no part of that. Part of the, my tops. He already got plenty of money.
Oh, that tops.
Already.
Yeah. It's so funny you had brought up. Tops. What is that? A couple of days ago now, right? I mean,
my baby been running hardcore, man, for a good little minute.
That was Thursday. I think it was Thursday. You brought up Tops, but Tops didn't do so hot on Thursday. If I was correct, let me see. Was that third? No, it didn't do so hot on Friday. Thursday it did. Yeah, it was pretty much nothing. But I guess if you were still holding it, or if you bought it on Thursday.
I did. I made the phone call in, for like 2 weeks ago when it was 15 cents or some shit like that. Yeah, and now it looks like it's gonna, even though with the reverse stock split, it seemed like it's trying to touch $3, bro. I mean, I ain't saying it is, but. It's like it's heading up in that direction.
Hey, man, I wish it for you. I see the volume coming in. It's a low float runner. Yeah. I mean, the float's got to be even more ridiculous. It was already low, but this reverse split again, it's got to be less than 5 million by now on top. Yeah. So it's definitely moving.
Yeah, because me and you, Sal, man, we go back for a couple of years. Ever since your one homeboy pumped the stock up, when I first got started in this stock stuff, Tim Sykes, he pumped it up, and I think it was like 14 or 7. I don't know. It was up there. Yeah. So I mean, I know what it could do, but I'm not saying it's going to do it now. But like I said, I've been following it ever since a couple of weeks ago. I made a phone call, and it was doing that weird, bouncing back and forth thing. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? I knew it was going to do something crazy. So I said, man, let me throw a little something in it and just, watch it, make the phone call, and, what I'm saying, before I know it, what I'm saying, reverse stock split, and then just been, my bank account been like, I just try to brag about all that does, but, I just made the phone call in and just, you see what the stock does for itself,
We'll see. What else you got for us, bro?
Something else, but, you know what I'm saying, it's OTCs. I already know how you feel about OTCs, so I ain't going to bring that up just right now. Oh, no, Treasure Hunter, I don't like this.
What's your best? No, it's because you usually pick out the OTCs with the worst volume in the world. What's the best one you got right now? What's the best one you got right now?
All right, you got me with my pants down now. I didn't do my homework, so like put anything else on the air. But I don't know. I'll call you back.
All right, appreciate you, man.
All right, I hit you back. All right, you got it, brother.
Yes, indeed. I ain't catching no nigga with his pants down, man. All right, let's get that straight right now. Hey, David, if you're calling me, man, give me a call if you're watching, David. I don't want to keep you waiting too late. I don't want to keep you waiting too late because I did hit you up on Twitter. So if you're waiting for me, let me let you know I'm waiting for you to give me a call because I definitely want to get these people up to speed on volatility. And I know you're the man with the master plan on that. You know what I'm saying? 508. Who am I speaking with?
Hey, what's up, Sal? It's Dave.
Yes, I got the man David Lincoln on the line. Appreciate you for calling, man. I really appreciate you taking the time to speak with the people.
Well, I appreciate you allowing me on your show because I think it's a really great show, and you do a great job.
Thank you. So I spoke with you the other day, yesterday, and I said if you could come on and talk about volatility, specifically the Tvix, the VIX in general, and kind of explain to people a little bit about what exactly it is and, how people can possibly take advantage of what's going on in the VIX to, make money.
Well, this is a pretty good day for that because we've seen another spike in the VIX. With these down moves in the markets, the VIX moves up. But yeah, let's talk about Tvix specifically for a second. So Tvix is not a stock; it's an ETF, as you know. And so part of what that means is that the VIX is an index, so it's a number that's generated based on the values of a strip of puts in the SPX, and there's no way to directly trade the VIX. So to get at the VIX, you have to trade futures. And a normal you and I investor probably doesn't want to trade futures because it costs a lot of money. It's very prohibitive. So we could choose to trade so the best way for us to get to the VIX is to trade one of these ETFs like Tvix, VXX, UVXY. And Tvix is a leveraged ETF. So like other leveraged ETFs, it has some problems when you hold on to it for too long. Because it's leveraged, what it is that the managers have to try to replicate 2 times a move each day. So if it starts to go up, they've got to buy some extra futures, and if it turns around and starts to go back down again, they've got to sell some extra futures, and that buying and selling can cause sort of a negative scalping type situation where that will decay, and that's true with all these ETFs. That's true with your UGAs and your DGAs. But basically, what we look at is the VIX term structure to tell us what's going on with the futures. So, because what Tvix does is it tries to replicate 30 days out, because the VIX is based.
And I got that term structure here. Let me put that on. Okay, I think it's on the screen now so people can see that. So I've got that link you sent me from VIXCentral.com so they can see the VIX futures term structure. And explain to us a little bit, what exactly are we seeing here when we're looking at this chart?
Okay, I'm pulling it up at the same time as to look at it. But basically what you're looking at is different futures that the Tvix is based on. And let me turn myself down here. There we go. So Tvix is based on a mix of the first 2 futures, so that April future and that May future. Because each of those futures expires in 30 days. So it's going to have a mix of the 2 futures so that it's exactly 30 days out that it's replicating. So every day, what they have to do is they have to buy about 1/30th of whatever the fund's worth of May futures, and they got to sell whatever 1/30th of the April futures. So right now, what it's called being in backwardation, which means that the second month future is at a cheaper price than the first month future. So you can see on that chart, the second month future is worth $19.31, whereas the first month's future is worth $20.15. So every day, and they don't necessarily do it at 4:30, but at some point they're going to make a transaction where they buy that cheaper future and buy the more expensive one. And that transaction, if you buy something that's cheaper and sell something more expensive, that's actually going to increase the value of the fund as they do that, because basically you're buying something cheaper and selling something more expensive. But right now we're in backwardation where the futures are that way. But normally, about 85% of the time, the chart looks the opposite, where the front month future will be the cheapest, and then it will just sort of slope up in an uphill pattern. And the significance of that is that when it is sloping up in an upward pattern, every day when you have to do that transaction to buy one future and sell another, the ETF loses value. And so the result is, under normal conditions, if nothing else changes, Tvix will slowly go down in value. So that's why, in general, under normal conditions, we caution people about holding on to this for too long. Like, if you get basically, this is going to capture the fear meter. So if you get a feeling that the market's going to sell off in a day or two or soon, you can go in and buy this, and if the market does sell off, it will spike up and you'll make decent money. But we don't usually tell people to hold on to it for too long because it tends to decay. But currently in the situation we're in, where everything's kind of wacky, there is no decay. So this is actually a good time to get long this, if that is,
And I was just going to say that, right? Looking at basically understanding the way you explained it, if you want to get long the Tvix, right now is the best time to do that, because this chart is showing that because it's not sloping higher, but in fact the forward months are cheaper, that means the VIX should go higher in price over at least the short term.
Yeah, well, what happens on expiration, when the April future expires, which isn't for another 3 weeks, it has to converge with spot. So that line on top is the spot price, 22.50. And so on expiration, those two have to converge. So if spot stays here, it's going to force the future up higher, and that is going to make Tvix go higher as well, no matter what happens with the market. So you've got pressure on Tvix right now to move higher. Now, this backwardation effect, it is an effect, but it's not super strong. It's over a period of time. So, for example, if the market rallies big, volatility will come in, the VIX will go down, and even though there is this pressure for it to stay up, the fact that the market rallies hard will overcome that, and volatility will come in, and Tvix will go down. So it's something that if you want to get kind of into it, it's something that I would recommend your viewers just kind of track for a couple weeks and kind of get a sense as to what's going on.
Got it.
So that's what I do, is I pull up my term structure every day, and I kind of track the VIX. Now, I know you were mentioning yesterday how you'd seen it sort of bounce off the 9 area a couple times. Do you want to pull up the Tvix chart for a second?
Yeah. Let me do that. All right. So I got the Tvix now back on the screen. So we're looking at the daily right now on the Tvix, and as you can see, it was a big time loser for 2017, but now we've got quite a bit of volatility returning to the markets. Now we're at we were at lows at the beginning of the year, January. We were at $4 and or 4.50s, and now we're at 10.46. Right. Well, as the market, if the market goes back into a situation where we're making new highs again, then the effect of contango, which I was sort of describing a little while ago, will kick in again, and you'll start to see that downward slope in the curve again. But for now, it's anybody's guess, and you've seen it bounce off that 9 level a couple times. So if it gets down there again, it's a decent time to pick a little bit up, because you can feel comfortable as long as that chart is still kind of flat to sloping downward. The other chart we looked at, that there's not a lot of pressure on the downside, and so you could buy a little Tvix around 9 and then just hang out and wait for that down day, and it's going to pop again. Wow. Does that make sense, what I'm saying? It does make sense. Now, with that being said, what causes contango? And hopefully if I'm saying it right, but what causes that? Is there something in the market I can look to see like, oh, that could be happening, and then I'll end up going, or do I just have to kind of check that website every couple months?
Well, it generally is going to happen when the market's moving slowly up and volatility is down. And the reason that the market goes into contango is because if you have a future that is a couple months from now, then it's usually more likely that between now and, say, 3 months from now, something wild is going to happen. It's more likely that something wild is going to happen in the next 3 months than just in the next 1 month, usually, right? Because it gives you 3 months of time where something drastic could happen. But right now we're in such an extreme environment that the chart is telling us that now is the time that craziness is happening, and a couple months from now things will calm down. So when the back month futures are lower like they are now, it means that right now stuff's crazy and they're expecting stuff to be calmer in the next couple of months. Because remember, if you think about the name of a future, it's predicting what the future will do in volatility. So right now, it's saying now everything's crazy. In the future, things are going to be calmer. When we're in contango, it usually means that now it's very calm and potentially something could happen in the future.
So understanding the way you just explained it, you're basically saying we're just in the beginning of what could be even worse news or worse or even more volatility for the overall market. Yeah,
right now, according to the term structure, right now stuff is going nuts and it's not over with yet.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and I won't, it came out of backwardation essentially for all of 2017. We were never in backwardation at all. And right now we've been in it 6 times since the year started. So this is a very extreme time for volatility. And it's signaling that, that crazy stuff is happening. And we know that, all of last year the market's kind of rallied, and now we've had these sell-offs, and we don't really know where it ends. And so the VIX will tell you that, and also with volatility, the actual VIX number over 20, that tells us that, the long-term average is around 17.5 for the VIX. So with it over 20, that means that stuff is going pretty nuts. So, and we don't need the VIX to tell us that right now, do we, really?
Right. 20 VIX, oh my God, that'd be, I think people will start jumping off bridges if we see that. I mean, that would be,
Well, right now, the VIX went out today at 22. Let's see. Well, the VIX today. Yeah, VIX today went out at 2250. So we're pretty cranked. It did get up to, on February 5th, I believe it got up I think it got up to 50 for a second on February 5th. But generally, when it gets at those high numbers, it'll just spike for one day and come right back down.
Okay. All right. So I got the volatility S&P pulled up. And as you said earlier, you can't directly buy into the VIX. You got to buy through an ETF or these ETNs. And, yeah, we are on 22 right now, 2250, up 7% today alone. And, I'm looking at the markets, and as you said, I mean, this might not be over. And, I hate to put you on the spot, though, David, but, I mean, being that we just saw the fact that this might not be the end of the volatility that we're seeing across the market, would you say, someone who's willing to take the bet, right, would you say that they could find themselves in profit if they were to go in tomorrow and try to sell by Friday? Or is it
I don't know.
Or is it such a day-to-day product that you really even can't predict that?
Well, it's a lot like I heard you mentioning on a recent show that some of these things you kind of have to be in before the move on the open, and it's a lot like that, where we'll come in tomorrow and essentially it will probably gap one way or the other. Right now, coming into the close, there was acceleration to the downside, and so it spiked into the close. And now with futures being off the lows a little bit, and I see the E-minis up 3 and the Nasdaq up 4, which isn't very much, but it's halted moving down. And so if things open right here, Tvix will open down a little bit tomorrow. So you kind of have to pick your points. But I would say look to buy it if it goes down a little bit.
Sure. So basically, it's a buy. It's a buy under like 950, 930. I mean, that based on what we're seeing, because I watched it today and I saw, it got to as far as let me go back to Tvix, and if I go to that 5 minute, and I saw this thing in the low 9s, and because if you remember, we opened up higher, and we rallied for about half an hour, 45 minutes. And it got down to the 9-teens, right? 918. And then, we found out what happened with NVIDIA and that situation. Semiconductors started selling off, the whole market came down. And sure enough, the Tvix anyway, went as high as 1081. That's well over $1.70 in less than 3 hours.
Yeah, it's like if you see the market trying to rally, it's trying to rally, and then if you see it start to crack all of a sudden, or you start to feel like the rally's petering out, and you start to feel that momentum shift, that might be a time to just grab a couple shares then, you know what I mean? Because it's a 2 times leveraged product, so it's going to perform, if you're right with it, it's going to perform with you much better than like saying, if you just buy a couple, SPY shares or something, it's going to cost you a fortune, and you're not going to have that much leverage. But you could buy a $9 stock or a $9, security like this and actually get some bang for your buck.
Yeah, I can see how you can, using just compounding gains. I mean, this thing moved 15% today. So, even if you didn't get the whole move, you got 5%. That can really add up if someone could take some time to understand how volatility works, how to trade this every day. Or every other day, and you could make good money if you even grab just a couple percent once you get really good at this. Excellent.
And the thing that what people were making money on for all of last year was to just sit short these things, because like a Uvxy or a Tvix, they reverse split a couple times in 1 year. So the thing went from 50 to 5, reverse split back to 50, went back to 5 again, like all in 1 year. And so people were just sitting on these things. They thought it was easy money, but then all of a sudden the musical chairs stopped and they spiked. So people used to be like, oh, it's a sucker's play to be long it because it decays so much, but right now it doesn't decay at all. So it's actually a great long if you just pick your points a little bit.
Excellent. Wow. Thank you so much, David. And David, before I get you off the air, where can people contact you or follow you here on YouTube or online?
Oh, well, I have the YouTube channel at David Lincoln, and we also have a VIX group on Facebook called Facebook/groups VIX Trade. So come check us out there. It's a spot where you can come. There's no question it is too basic, and there's not a bunch of trolls there. There's not a bunch of spam there, and it's a great spot to learn about the VIX.
Thank you so much, David. I appreciate your time, man.
Thank you for having me on, Sal, and you're doing a great job. I love watching the show.
Great. Thank you so much. That's David Lincoln. Good man right there, man. Y'all need to reach out to that dude if you're interested in the VIX, interested in just adding it to your repertoire of trades. You really want to reach out to resources out here that are willing to take the time, to share knowledge with you. I mean, this guy is just willing to take some time. He kicked some game with us. I appreciate guys like that, man, and that's why it's nothing for me to have them on and to push their channels too. Go to his channel, David Lincoln. Press subscribe on it right now. It's growing incredibly, and he's getting some really great interviews. He's interviewed me. My video's up there. A bunch of other interesting traders as well. Subscribe to him and follow that guy, man. Follow that guy. All right? Yes, indeed. Shout out to David Lincoln for the call. Awesome. All right. The VIX. Tvix right now is the cheapest one. He did mention Uvxy. Trades very similar. But Uvxy, David, I don't know if you're still listening. I probably should have asked him if this is leveraged too. I know Tvix is leveraged 2x. But is Uvxy leveraged? I'm sure you can probably just Google that. I'm watching Uvxy as well as the Tvix. But both products, insane gains intraday if you catch them at the lows, right? Catch them at the lows. And then following that chart that we showed, that's VixCentral.com. 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 Pulls right up. And it allows you to show whether or not if it's in contango, as he mentioned, and do some research on what that means and add that to your repertoire, all right? Because I'm definitely doing that. I mentioned earlier in the show, I put out on my website, Advanced Equity Research, a great article on inverse technology ETFs. I've really fallen in love with these inverse leveraged ETFs because they got some insane returns. They're generating insane returns right now. Options is always going to be a great way to use, leverage to make money, right? But some of these inverse ETFs, they are moving almost, I wouldn't say as much as options, right? Because you won't see a 200% move on it, on an inverse, but it's nothing to see 10, 15, maybe even 14, 17% on an inverse trade in a day. Now you won't get that whole move, but 4, 5, 6, 7% of that move, especially if you're catching the intraday, is very, very possible. Go ahead and read that article, and I'll put that. We'll go through some of the tickers right now. All right, ProShares Ultra Short QQQ. All right, we talked about how the Qs got us here, right? The Qs got us here. The Netflix, the Facebooks of the world, Microns, the Intels, the Microsofts, they are all up huge, far over 20, 25%, some of them 30%. In one case, which one? I think it's Netflix, which is almost 40% away from its 200 moving average. So we're talking about tech stocks that are up huge from safety zones, right? So they could very well continue to sell off if we continue to go lower across the market. And, traders continue to question valuation and the economic marketplace. So QID, Ultra Short QQQ, this is a leveraged, let me see, actually, is this a leverage? Yes, this is a leveraged 2X product. So very much like the VIX, the Tvix, as I just showed you, this is a leveraged 2X product. This was created back in 2006, so these have been out here. But as we evolve as traders, you're getting new information that you find out was actually old information. But hey, that's life, and excellent product for you to look to trade, at least on the short term. Just as David mentioned, being leveraged products, they have to be adjusted daily, right? They have to be adjusted daily. So you really want to play them on the short term, but with things the way they're going now, this could be a very nice hold for somebody, especially if we continue to sell off. All right, QID. All right, let's get sector specific with SOXS. SOXS. This is the daily semiconductor bear. This is 3 times. This is a 3x leveraged product. All right, 3x leveraged product. So big wins, big losses when we're talking about these leveraged products. So you really want to look to them with an interesting sector like semiconductors, which have ran really hot this past year. So SOXS, interesting product, 11% gain. This is sector specific. You're looking to short these semiconductor stocks that have ran really, really hard. All right, getting back to the broader, but still in technology, of course. TECS, same level of leverage on that. This is also a 3X product, right? This is also one that follows the technology select sector index, right? So as again David mentioned, but market wide, you can't go into an index. You can't actually invest in an index. The only way to do so is to actually buy an exchange traded note or exchange traded fund. This one copies it on the inverse 3x, and that is TECS. Now trading at 614, right? There is a reverse split coming. I want to say it's as soon as, I think it could be tomorrow after hours. Could be tomorrow after hours. Don't worry, it won't affect the actual valuation of the trade. So it's 1 for 5, but it's not going to, it's not going to actually affect if you put $500 in before or even after the split, you'll still have $500. So TECS, $6 right now, but they're trying to get that back thing over 10, right? They're trying to get it back over 10 because we know that a lot of funds, private money, institutional money, unfortunately, they cannot buy stocks, ETFs, ETNs under $10 a share. So they tend to reverse split to kind of get that back up there to be able to get that institutional money trading back into the fund. All right. Exposure to China. I think China is a really interesting case. It's a really interesting case. Yang right now, this is the bear ETF China market. Here's the thing. For a long time, we've always known that the dollar was more valuable than the yen, but time is changing. We are literally watching the yen become stronger than the dollar. We are watching the yen become stronger than the dollar. The dollar is breaking all-time lows against the yen, and I want to show you guys that. Let's go to look at some Forex real quick. USD, CH, I can't remember what's the word for China. I think CNY, there it is, CNY. All right, and if we look at the chart, all right, let's go to a weekly so we can get a bigger picture of this. Here's the US dollar, right? Here's the US dollar. It had always been falling for the most part, right? As China's economy was growing, the middle class, they had a huge middle class. The Chinese middle class is bigger than the United States population, folks. All right, so you got to understand there was a popular investor by the name of Jim Rogers. This is a guy that when I first started trading, I read his book, and it's all about China. He's talking about how he's moved to China. His kids speak Chinese. This guy thinks China is going to be like the United States of today, and it could very well do that. It could very well be that partner, because we are watching the Chinese yuan possibly one day become more valuable than the United States dollar, all right? Than the United States dollar. We're already seeing Chinese buying significant assets here in the United States. So watch how this U.S. dollar is continuing making new lows, right, week after week after week against the yuan. And with that being said, that means that it's going to cost a lot more for companies that produce their products in China to do business there. It's going to cost them a lot more. So either we're going to start becoming the China of the future, where we start doing the manufacturing and then start selling it to them. All right. But that means a lot of things are going to have to be change on our side. And that's why I put that yang up there, because that could have devastating effects on business as is. That's another ticker that's going to also be reverse splitting here soon. But as again, looking at the weekly, we're seeing it creep up higher here as that looks to break out and possibly, run in the other direction. It's been real beat up over the last couple years. All right. Yes, indeed. So check that article out on my website. I have also articles for if you're interested in gold ETFs, if you're interested in silver ETFs. I got another one that I'm writing right now that's going to be about financials, right? If you want to short some of these financials, for those of you guys who don't know, we're watching these treasury yields go lower and lower and lower, right? For those of you guys who don't know, that's basically the cost that the United States government has to pay for our government to lend money, to borrow money. right? So when the market sells off, people run to treasuries for safety. But here's the thing. When they run to treasuries for safety, the government starts paying less interest because I don't have to convince you. I don't have to convince you to give me money. You're going to give me money anyway, right? You're running to me for shelter instead of buying equities. Now, that's not a good sign. That's considered a very bearish sign for the stock market, right? Because people, investors globally, are running to U.S. treasuries. But if you watch one of my main guys I love to follow, Peter Schiff, he's saying we're going to end up screwing, other countries, because when they realize when it's time to pay that we don't have the money to pay them, this whole thing comes crumbling down. That's a different story, but interesting sentiment by Peter Schiff. Great video he just recently put out about that as well too. All right, but that's an interesting leveraged bear ETF product that if this market sells off, interest rates continue to go higher, right? You're going to want to be in FAZ. It's a leveraged financial product that has JP Morgan Chase, Bank of America, many of your popular huge Citigroup, right? All popular financial institutions in an inverse in FAZ. FAZ is that ticker. That one is not currently already above $10, so that will not be going through a reverse split. All right? FAZ is that ticker. Yes, indeed. He said, how can we fix the U.S. economy? You can't fix it, period. Can't fix it at this point. The only way, well, you can fix it, but the only way is we're going to have to drastically cut back spending, and we don't have a government that's willing to do that. We don't have a government that's willing to drastically cut spending, drastically, tell people who've done their 20, 30, 40 years that we can't pay them every month, whatever it is we promise them for their pensions. All right. We're not willing to increase taxes. So, that's what it is. That's what it is. It's not even the Federal Reserve, bro. It's just we're not willing to spend money properly. We're not willing to spend money properly. It's not even the Federal Reserve. We just did one of the biggest tax cuts this country has ever had, and we did nothing about spending. So we're cutting back our inflows, drastically cutting back our inflows, but outflows continue to go higher. In fact, we increased our outflows by increasing spending on the military. So there's a big disaster waiting for us, and we're just kicking it down the can. We're really just kicking it down the can. All right. You said stop printing money. Well, here's the thing. If we just stop spending, we won't print money. That's the thing. Ricardo Joseph, we can stop spending. We won't have to print. We're printing money because we won't stop spending. All right. So let's go ahead and knock out some tickers for tomorrow. Give me your tickers for tomorrow. I've already showed you guys some places right now. Tomorrow you can get 3, 4, 5%. All these tickers we've just talked about here, the ones I posted up on my website, possibly even the VIX, right? Be diligent with it. But great tickers to take advantage of any kind of sell side pressure tomorrow if we see it. I see the E-mini is up. He did say E-mini is up a couple points, and I think the NASDAQ is also up slightly, right? Oh, actually, the NASDAQ's falling. Yep, okay. We're in between 0.75 and 1. Oh, now when I start talking, it bounces up to 4.2. Look at that. All right, but it's going to be interesting. Those are obviously nowhere near as high as they were yesterday after, during the show. So if we're willing to open up right now 3 points on the future, I'm willing to walk into the market with that and see that go even lower, hopefully. All right. We'll start moving production to undeveloped countries like India. No, sir. India will actually start being a buyer of our products. You've got to understand, we're moving in the opposite direction where we start becoming the second class, and your nations like the India, like China, start being the buyers or the movers and shakers. It's going to have a real extreme effect on geopolitics when, the Chinese yuan starts becoming the currency of choice. Because I'm going to tell you this right now, if we continue to see the dollar slide against the yuan, if I'm a country like Brazil, if I'm a country like South Africa, Nigeria, or something like that, I produce oil, I'm not going to want to sell my oil in dollars, right? I'm not going to want to sell my oil for a lower value. I'm going to say, shit, you know what? If you want to buy my resources, buy them in yuan. What kind of effect does that have on geopolitics? I think it has, one that I think you can't even describe right now. So it's going to be really interesting. The next 5, 10, 20 years are going to be very, very, very interesting. Very interesting. All right, let's keep it going. BRVO. And here's the thing. As a trader, you're going to be front and center experiencing how, that's going to affect everyday life. BRVO. OTC stock, BRVO, looks like you had a good day today. 83% gain. 83% gain. All right. 83% gain, BRVO. Nice day, OTC stock. You already know what it comes. Only 70,000 shares traded. You already know what comes with that. DLCR. 7% gain. God damn, you guys are giving me all these like shitty ass trades. Let's get back to some NASDAQ. Let's get back to some ones with some volume. AEZS is 160,000 shares beyond average. Come on. AEZS. And let's go to this tandem. All right, this looks a little bit better. There we go. All right. Let's get to one that's got some action here. TNDM. TNDM up 9%. TNDM, 9% gain today. Tell me what the story is there. My line is open, 305-600-2896, before we get off the air. Ooh, shout out to AYTU, man. Shout out to AYTU. Let me put that up here. AYTU. Boy, what an opportunity, man. This is kind of one of those, account changers. That's kind of what I call these low cost stocks where you can just really load up and they move real nice, man. AYTU. This is a stock from 40 cents now trading at 72 cents. All right, you can really load up on this one. That I got to give it to you, man. I got to give it to you. AYTU. Awesome call there. Awesome call there. All right. I'll give them the supreme victory. Supreme victory. And you still got a lot of upside to this. Look at the daily chart on this. Now, I'm not saying run in there and get it tomorrow because the meat and potatoes was today. I mean, you see this volume that showed up today in the stock. You could very well have buyers in there tomorrow, but I have a feeling that you're going to have more sellers, especially in the morning, looking to sell on the guys who are trying to get it on the open, right? Nice play on that, though. AXTA, Exalta Coating Systems. Interesting that you bring up commodity coating, chemical products. We saw Berkshire Hathaway. I want to say this was yesterday by CSG. This is a nice little ticker too. Here. That PE ratio is kind of high, man. It's got like a tech level PE ratio, 51 times earnings. That's a really expensive stock for that sector, man. I would look into why it's got a 51 PE for a basic materials company. That's really high. CSG. Let me see here. No, CSG. Oh, they took the ticker. Did they take the ticker off? I think they took the ticker off. Already. Damn, that was fast. Yeah, Berkshire Hathaway went out and bought that company. AES. And by the way, there's a lot of rumors about Berkshire buying GE too. Supposedly they're the buyer in GE, which was one of the reasons why GE was a nice little runner today. All right. AES, 1% gain. T. James, you said Dow 30,000 by 2020. Could happen. Could happen. You know, we ran hard last year on cheap money. But let me tell you this right now. When you've been running hard on cheap money and you take away the cheap money, right, it's going to have an effect. And it doesn't, you know, and the effect that it's going to have isn't another 4,000 or 5,000, you know, added on to the SPX. That's just not how it works. Let's keep it going. AES. I'm looking at the chart here. I don't see anything really particularly exciting about AES. So let me know what you see here. I'm looking at the news too. Don't see very much of anything to be excited about. If you like utilities, right? If you like in utilities, you know, you want something that's kind of really beat up and really kind of coming off the bottom. Here's Dominion Energy. We showed this one yesterday. I told people this was a buy. As you can see, the stock was up today 1.64%. It was a great opportunity for you to take either an option position or just go long on something like this. But you can also look at, you know, the ETF that is kind of been running a little bit behind. XLE, all right, XLE, or some even the crude. I do have a crude article that I wrote too on my website. Let me give you a good crude ETF. A lot of people like USO, but I like a little bit more aggressive. I think this one. Let's get a little bit more aggressive on this one. This is Oil U. This is Oil U. This one's a particularly new one. Let me see an old one that's a little bit more established. UWT. UWT. This is a nice one. Pulled back today, but these are leveraged. And again, it's on my website, Advanced Equity Research. And of course, there's Gush. There's Gush. That's the gas and oil exploration ETF. And that's going to be right now, that one's down 7%. But this could be an interesting play because we've seen crude prices rise, but we haven't seen a change or a catch up in the actual stocks, right? We haven't seen a catch up or a move in the stocks, in the equity side, for utilities, for these oil producers. So that could be a spot where traders run to find value, especially if crude continues to run. Let me see what else you guys taking a look at. CEVO. Pizu. Ooh, that's an old-ass ticker. Somebody brought up Pizu. Somebody bringing up Pizu. That's an old-ass ticker, man. I haven't heard that one in a long time. 404, what's up? You're on the air.
What's going on, Sal? This is Mr. JRH, man.
Hey, what's up with you, bro?
What's going on, man? Anybody call in about the, I just got my options going on today for the first time. I was wondering if anybody called in about the options with the Robinhood.
Well, I had Mr. Lloyd call up and he explained it a little bit, and I don't think he's just recently got it, just like you. And I've used it, and it's free. It's free. It works. It gets the job done. You know, options can be kind of scary, so just make sure you give yourself some time on those options.
But this is what I called about, because I just put something in it today, because I had basically a couple $100 left in my account that I didn't have nothing in. So I went and bought. I had $200 to play with, and I wanted to get someone a lot of time, but I got lucky. Let me put it like this: I ain't no guru. This is my first option. I bought $200 worth of GE. Okay. I didn't know nothing about Buffett, about to get it, but I bought it with 2 days left on it. It expired this Thursday. But the reason I know a little bit about options. I don't know about the data and all that garbage, but I know about time decay. So I know it. So I bought it because it was forcing an option. I was like, the hell with it, forcing an option. And when I got it, it initially went down. You can pull up GE, but it shot straight up. And when I say I put 200, I was up like 1,000% before 11 o'clock.
Damn.
And it went up so fast. I didn't, because I'm new to the Robinhood, new with options. I didn't know how to get out the trade.
Mm.
And I'm going crazy trying to flip out, trying to get out of it because I know it expires Thursday. And but I end up about time I got out of it, I think I was up like 700. And so I'm not trying to go all in on options. I'm still trying to do my thing. But options where you can make some serious money, I see.
Absolutely.
And but I end up buying a put, but I put some time on this one because I know GE for the most part. I believe, I don't know nothing. I believe it's going down because if you look at the yearly chart, it's on a straight like decline. So I bought some options. I forgot what the date is, but it's got like a couple months on it to go down to 1250. So, but but to me it's real simple, and it's real simple once you get the hang of it. But it's free, like you said. But yeah, man, and it's been my best day of trading on the first time I did an option, and I know I got lucky. But you start off with $200 and you turn that 200 into 1,400 or whatever. It was about something like that.
Man,
in less than an hour.
but still though, congratulations to you, man. I mean, that's luck that people want to have, and that could be a sign that this is where you need to be focusing your time on, even if it was, a trader's luck. Still, I mean, you now see what the potential is, for somebody who can go into it, and if you're right on the money, options can really magnify the kind of returns you can generate by putting up just a few $100s.
Right, because it made me think of the resources I would have had to put up in just regular trading to put up to make that kind of gain. What I'd have had to put up, make $1,400, whatever I made, I'd have had to put up like $10,000 instead of $200. And that kind of jarred me. Like, damn. I mean, it really don't take that much in options. If you get, I'm still trying to figure it out. But once I start figuring it out, because I deal with Robinhood, I call in a little more and let you know how it's going. Because the option thing, I think I'm still doing my trading, but I think it's going to be like 70-30, 70% trading. I'm going to be in the option. So I'll give you a holler back and forth and let you know how stuff going.
Will do, man. Appreciate you, bro. Thank you so much, and congrats to you, man.
I appreciate you, bro. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Yes, indeed. So, and there it is, man. That's a brother who's got now a couple $1,000 to work with, man. That's what's up. He took a risk, and that's what it is, man. You take risk, and it works in your favor. And now he's got more money to work with, more opportunities now he can take advantage of, and that's awesome. That's awesome. Love to hear stuff like that. And now he's going to go to work to get better. And options is really about knowing your candlesticks, understanding, when a stock is beat up and it has an opportunity to bounce back. But more importantly, just knowing your candlesticks. That's really understanding where that particular stock is in the trend. Right? Absolutely. And Mr. JRH, get with me about those videos, those option videos that I've been getting out. And guys have really been loving those videos, specifically more for traders who are looking to go a little bit longer out. But, I think it could be help to you. It could be a help to you. All right? He won on GE. Yeah, GE. That was a killer trade, man. Took a bet expiration of 2 days. So the volatility was insane. On that option, man, that IV was probably all over the map, and then it went his way, and I know he saw that money coming in. I know he just probably went crazy. Yes, indeed. Congrats to him. SHLD, we'll close up the show in just a bit. SHLD, 7% gain today on Sears. Sears has been really interesting because it's one of those things we know where it's going to end up, but it's just kind of, still kind of fighting for its life, right? Still kind of fighting for its life, and it kind of reminds me a lot of JCPenney. Just two companies that we know where they're going to end up, but they're in the last legs of what they have left. And but both of them are horrible option trades because the volatility just isn't there. The volume isn't really there as well. And, unless you're really using stock. And even stock-wise, I mean, they don't really trade. You can see here, JCPenney, 5-cent move, right, today. So you really kind of have to buy and hold these kind of plays. All right? Yes, indeed. All right. And shout out to Cali Rob, man. Shout out to Cali Rob. I put somebody on his, off the top of my head, I put somebody onto his XP, I think it was like SPXU. I put somebody onto XPXU just by accident. And she called me back like, oh my God, I'm up. Oh my God. I'm like, oh my God. And sure enough, she got her first green day. So shout out to, because I think it was XPXU. It was one of that XP trades you told me about. Or it could have been XPXX. No, it definitely wasn't that one. I think it was XPXU. But, yeah. So she's up on that one. So shout out to them. Yeah, just play the trend, man. I'm not doing anything. I don't have no magic formula. You guys know I'm just following moving averages, RSI, MACD. That's all. That's it. All right. We're in a bearish market, then I'm playing a bearish ETF. We're going to start going back to bullish, then I'm going back to these leveraged longs. That's basically all I'm doing. Email me happypennystocks@gmail.com. happypennystocks@gmail.com. I'll send you the link. All right, and you can download them on your own computer, on your phone. You can watch them at any time. All right. Yeah, I love RSI. It's always a great indicator. Always a great indicator, RSI. All right, especially when you're looking at, a nice little hourly bounce. Can you imagine? Look at this SBS. Here's one trade that they show you just as if you're watching the video that Nem produced. All right, so he'll show you something like this. He'll say, look, yeah, MACD cross, RSI cross. This is where you get in on this. Here's a 60-minute. And he doesn't go anywhere lower than the 60-minute because he's looking for an opportunity to play an option or even straight stock. You can use it with option or even straight stock. But even for straight stock, this is a $30 stock now, but it's going to have to be something where you play with a little bit of patience, but you can use the same strategy for stock as well. So this is your in, 50 cross, RSI cross, and then you hold it until it breaks beneath this 50. You would get out, or you would use a moving average, right? You can use a moving average to get yourself out of it. Here's a break above the moving average. There's your in, break above the 50, RSI cross, and you stay in, preferably until it breaks lower. All right, but as you can see, it broke below the moving average, but then break below the other one, the 50 RSI, continue to hold. So that would have been your bet. All right, but again, get the videos. But I'm in many of these ETFs, preferably QID right now, is where I love to. That's where I'm at right now as we continue to play this one lower, and I'm just continue to ride. All right. Yes, indeed. Bollinger Bands are nice too. Bollinger Bands are nice. Absolutely. All right. Pull back. Yeah, Kelly Rob. Yeah. No, but that's what you got to do, bro. You were right on top of that one, man. When it says 3x, do it mean we can win or lose 3x the money? No, it means that the index that it's running on, or the index which is, because these ETFs are basically, I wouldn't say derivatives, but they're practically like derivatives. They basically duplicate the product, the action of the index, right? And that means if the index produces a 1% move, that ETF that is leveraged 3x will produce a 3% move. So it's leveraged 3x. If the index did a 2% day, that means the ETF will produce a 6% day. All right? So they basically magnify profit and could magnify loss as well. So that's why you want to run into them, preferably on green days, or run to these inverse on red days. All right? But they're great for short-term trading, intraday or over the course of a couple days if you feel the market is pulling back. All right? I hope you guys enjoyed the show tonight, man. Shout out to David Lincoln, my callers, Mr. Lloyd, what was Treasure Hunter, Dr. Butterfly. Shout out to the brother who just won $1,200. Just hit a lick. Woo! I love hearing that shit, man. I love hearing stuff like that when guys just go in and just hit a lick out of nowhere. Wasn't even really expecting it. And win. That is what is up. Yes, indeed. So let me go ahead and ring that bell, get you guys out of here for the night. I'll be back tomorrow, hoping for another red day tomorrow. Come on, baby. Woo! Keep going down. Keep going down. All right? It doesn't matter. It can keep going down, but now that you know, you can still make money if it goes down. All right? Check out my website, Advanced Equity Research. Write down the ETFs you like, do some research on them. Put them on your watch list. Put them on your watch list, and when things start getting ugly, you know where to run to. All right? Because let me tell you right now, the real money know where to run. Yeah, I'm seeing them right now on Black Box. They're selling calls and doing whatever they already know what to do. Yes, indeed. Appreciate you, Bill Betts. Me and Bill today watched Tvix go to 916 to 1050 something. It was insane. Shout out to you, Bill Betts. Daryl Graham, appreciate you, bro. Press like on this video right now. If you're a first-time watcher, press subscribe. We're happy to have you. Don't hesitate to call in with the ticker in the future. Great show tonight, man. Great show tonight. Good information. Shout out to, again, David Lincoln for taking the time. I'm a busy guy. Taking the time out to send knowledge. Go learn about volatility, how to make some money trading volatility. By the way, they do have that Tvix and UV. They have options as well. They're not as liquid, though. But they're out there. All right? George M. Ricardo Joseph. Appreciate you. Donzel Essex. Shirley Lewis. Thank you, Shirley. K-Mac15. Appreciate you, bro. Yes, indeed. Joel Kraft, Corey Kwan, Gucci, Mainstream McGee, appreciate you. All the people in the chat room. Andrew Gladness, appreciate you, bro. Yes, indeed. Yeah, let me give my man Andrew a round of applause. I'm going to retitle this video, too, by the time it posts. I'm going to give him a round of applause. Thank you so much. Yes, indeed. Cali 817, appreciate you, man. All right. I'm going to get up out of here. Until next time, happy trading, folks. Take care.